Bro got backstabbed by his own students, thrown off a cliff, and reincarnated into a Kurapila teenager's body. Except he was literally a god in his past life. So now he's slapping fiancé as one-shotting elite fighters and mastering 5-year techniques in O and Try, while everyone around him is just catching strays. Zero slow burn, zero mercy. A legendary mountain peak, and right away, things are already going left. We see our boy. Yeah, not even 5 seconds in and our boy is already getting jumped, standing on the edge of a cliff while 2 disciples close in on him. One of them is named Huimi, the other Jing Chen, and both of them are clearly not here to talk things out. Our boy looks at them and asks why, like he's still hoping this is all some kind of misunderstanding. It's not. One of them immediately starts talking, saying this is all his fault, claiming they had no choice since he refused to teach them his martial arts. The other one piles on, basically saying don't blame them for being evil, which is crazy cause bro just admitted it out loud like it's a personality trait. Then we finally get the truth. Our boy personally made one of them emperor, gave him everything, and this is how they repay him. Classic betrayal arc, nothing new, but they're executing it like professionals. And just like that, they're done talking. They turn their backs and walk away, casually saying goodbye to their master like they didn't just stab him in the back, literally and figuratively, while our boy reaches out, furious, calling them bastards as he falls off the cliff. And while he's dropping straight to his death, our boy isn't crying, he's plotting. He straight up says if he survives, he's killing the gods and everyone involved. Not just revenge, he's going full server reset, and then he disappears into the abyss. Next thing we see, a meteor comes crashing down from the sky toward a place called Lingjia Zhuang. Like the heavens themselves just threw him back into the story. We cut to a memorial hall, candles lit, incense burning, and right in the center is a spirit tablet. Someone is mourning. A man named Tai Xin is kneeling there, blaming himself, saying Jiang Chen was a good child, and that he wasn't strong enough to protect him. You can tell this isn't just grief, this is the kind of regret that turns into something dangerous. Another elder tries to calm him down, telling him not to be too angry, reminding him that the dead cannot be resurrected. And yeah, that line ages horribly, because Tai Xin immediately clenches his fist and says he must kill Li Tianlong to avenge his son. So now we've got revenge stacking on revenge and we're only getting started. Then we cut again. Our boy, now in a new body, is lying down unconscious. Suddenly, his eyes snap open. And just like that, he realizes it. He's alive. Not just alive. He's been given another chance and you can see it in his face. This man is way too happy about it. He starts laughing, talking about how the heavens gave him another opportunity like he just hit the luckiest reroll of his life. But then the pain hits. Memories start flooding in, not his own, and now he's dealing with 2 lives worth of information crashing into his brain at once. He grabs his head, trying to process it, realizing these memories belong to someone named Lingjian Chen. And then it clicks. That soul was already destroyed, meaning our boy didn't just reincarnate, he hijacked an empty slot. We shift into those memories. We see a younger version of this body kneeling, being praised as a genius for awakening Orange Level 3 martial arts at just 15 years old. Everyone's congratulating him, calling him talented, the whole future prodigy setup. And then immediately after, reality hits. Li Tianlong shows up, the same guy from earlier, and completely cripples him, humiliating him, beating him down in front of everyone, making sure he knows exactly how weak he is. So yeah, this genius. Life didn't exactly end well. Back to the present. Our boy stands there now fully aware of everything. His old life, his betrayal, his fall, and this new body's humiliation, its enemies, its unfinished business. And then we get that look. That quiet, dangerous look where you already know someone's about to make everybody regret their life choices. He mutters Li Tianlong's name again, not as a victim this time, but like he just found his first target. And right on cue outside, footsteps. 2 figures walk in, an older man and a girl, and they don't even bother knocking. They just step over unconscious guards like it's nothing and call out Ling Tiexin, come out. The moment Cheng Ruxu steps into the Ling residence, the entire hall turns tense. Eyes lock onto her as whispers spread. This is Ling Jianchen's fiancé. Yet she only shows up now, after everything that's happened. To them, her timing reeks of something ugly. Ling Tiexin stands firm, his presence heavy with grief and anger, while Ruxu walks forward without hesitation, calm and composed, completely unfazed by the hostility around her. She doesn't waste time. Her purpose is clear. She came to break off the engagement. With a cold expression, she tosses out a bag of compensation, gold coins spilling across the ground as if the relationship meant nothing more than a transaction. The metallic clatter echoes through the hall, instantly igniting fury. Ling Tixin's anger explodes. His son has just died, and now the Cheng family dares to humiliate them like this. To him, this isn't just breaking an engagement, it's spitting on his son's grave. But the old man beside Ruxu steps forward, his aura surging. He makes it clear this isn't a negotiation. Li Tianlong's son has already promised to marry Ruxu, and the Ling family would be wise to comply. Hand over the engagement document or face consequences. Power floods the room. A crushing force spreads outward, knocking people back as the gap between the 2 families becomes painfully obvious. The Ling family tries to resist, but they're completely overwhelmed. Even so, Ling Tiaxin refuses to back down. He gathers his strength, standing tall despite the pressure, declaring that the Ling family still has pride, that they won't allow their son's soul to be disturbed or his name disgraced. The situation spirals further when Ruxu reveals something even worse, the Tianlong order. The moment it appears, everyone freezes. This isn't just influence anymore. This is authority. Absolute authority. The weight of it crushes any remaining hope. The Ling family realizes the truth. They're up against a force far beyond them. Fighting back would mean destruction. Just as despair settles in, everything changes. A violent explosion erupts, tearing through the tension. Flames and energy burst into the hall, forcing everyone to shield their eyes. From within the chaos, a figure slowly steps forward. Alive, Ling Jianchen stands there, completely unharmed, his presence sending shockwaves through everyone watching. The impossible just happened. The man who was supposed to be dead has returned. The hall falls into stunned silence. Ling Tiaxin's rage instantly collapses into disbelief. His son is alive. The grief, the anger, everything breaks at once as he rushes forward, grabbing Jianchen, needing to confirm this isn't some illusion. It's real. Jianchen drops to one knee, apologizing for making his father worry. His voice steady despite everything that just happened. The emotional weight of the moment hits hard, cutting through all the tension from before. But not everyone is relieved. Ruxu's expression darkens. This outcome wasn't supposed to happen. Jianchen being alive completely disrupts her plans, yet she quickly regains her composure, her tone turning cold and calculated again. She tells him to stop being stubborn and accept her kindness, as if nothing has changed. But everything has changed, because now, Ling Jianchen is back. Before Cheng Ruxu can keep acting like she owns the place, Jianchen suddenly moves. 1 second, he is standing in front of everyone, and the next second, his body blurs like he just turned on cheat, speed mode. The people around him can barely follow his movement, and by the time anyone realizes what happened, our boy is already standing right in front of Cheng Ruxu. And then he slaps her. Not a warning slap, not a gentle please behave slap. This was a full customer service denied slap, and he tells her to kneel down. Cheng Ruxu's face gets hit so hard that her whole villain princess attitude falls to the floor before she does. Cheng Ruxu crashes down, holding her face in disbelief. She looks up at him and screams, asking how he dares to hit her. Jianchen just looks down at her like she asked the dumbest question in the world and basically tells her, "How dare I?" So what? This man has no fear in his eyes at all. Remember, this is not the same weakling Jianchen she thought she could bully anymore. This is a divine, level grudge holder wearing a teenager's body. He calmly tells her that she dared to be rude to his father, so this slap is only a small punishment. And honestly, that is terrifying. Because if making her kneel and slapping her across the face is considered small punishment, then what exactly does big punishment look like? But Cheng Ruxu clearly has not learned anything. Instead of realizing she almost got folded in front of the whole family, she explodes with anger and screams that she will kill Ling Jianchen. She charges toward him with killing intent, trying to attack him directly. This girl really got slapped once and thought, round 2, let's make it worse. Some people learn from pain. Others need the deluxe lesson plan. Jianchen barely reacts. While she rushes in with all that flashy movement, he looks completely unimpressed, thinking that her tricks and footwork are low level. Before Cheng Ruxu can do anything, Jianchen moves again and strikes her down with ease. She is sent flying backward, shocked that he can defeat her so easily. This new version of our boy is moving like he downloaded 30,000 years of martial arts experience overnight. Cheng Ruxu's expression freezes in shock, and then the next thing we see, she is kneeling on the ground in front of Jianchen, completely humiliated. The same woman who walked in with money, threats, and a new marriage plan is now bowing on the floor like the universe personally humbled her. She came here to cancel an engagement, but accidentally signed up for public embarrassment. Seeing his daughter beaten and forced down, Cheng Ru finally loses it. He charges at Jianchen, screaming that he dares to hurt his daughter and that he should die. This old man suddenly remembers parental love after bringing his daughter to disrespect someone else's dead son. Funny how that works. When his daughter gets slapped, it is a tragedy. But when someone else's son is killed and humiliated, it is just business. But before Cheng Rui can reach Jianchen, Ling Tiexin rushes in. He stomps forward with rage, shouting that Cheng Rui dared to touch his son and that he will kill him. The father who was grieving just moments ago is now fully locked in. This man already lost his son once today, so he is not about to stand there and watch some old rat try to take him away again. The two fathers clash with powerful energy, and their attacks explode into the form of a blazing red dragon and a blue dragon-like force. The whole hall is filled with light, pressure, and violent shockwaves. This is not a small family argument anymore. This is two angry dads throwing hands with special effects. Their powers collide, sending a massive blast through the area. Cheng Rui is forced back and lands badly, realizing that Ling Tixin is even stronger than him. Cheng Ruxu panics and calls out to her father. She rushes over and supports him as he coughs blood, asking if he is all right. Meanwhile, Jianchen and Ling Tiexin stand together, both calm and steady. Ling Tiexin looks ready to keep fighting if necessary, while Jianchen stays composed with that deadly confidence on his face. Jianchen then looks at Cheng Ruxu and tells her that if she does not want to become a widow and only wants to break off the engagement, he will not blame her. Honestly, that is already generous, considering she came to his funeral with compensation money like she was returning a defective product. But he makes it clear that she never should have threatened his father and his people. Then Jianchen makes his decision in front of everyone. He announces that he wants to cancel the engagement himself. The entire room is stunned. Cheng Ri looks shocked. The old elder looks shocked. Cheng Ruxu's eyes widen, and the surrounding people can't believe what they just heard. Because in this world, being rejected publicly is bad enough, but getting rejected by the person you came to reject. That is emotional damage with interest. Cheng Ruxu completely loses her mind. Her face turns red with anger and embarrassment as she screams that Ling Jianchen is a piece of trash and asks how he dares to divorce her. She swears that she will make him pay for this. Look at this madness. She came to dump him, but the moment he dumps her first, suddenly it is a crime against humanity. The ego on this girl is stronger than her martial arts. Jian Chen has had enough and yells at her to cut the nonsense and get out. He is not playing the back and forth shouting game anymore. At this point, his patience has officially left the building, packed a bag, and moved to another province. Then a powerful aura erupts from Jian Chen's body. Golden energy bursts through the hall as everyone is forced back in fear. The pressure is so strong that people cry out, shocked by his power. Now the entire room understands that this boy is not just alive. He came back different. The old Ling Jianchen might have been crippled, but this version is standing there like a sealed monster who just remembered how to breathe. Cheng Ruxu is forced to retreat, but even as she leaves, she throws out one last threat. She tells Ling Jianchen to wait, saying she will return in 3 months with the third son of the Li family, and that he should be ready to face the anger of the Li family. Of course she does. When villains lose a fight, they always pull out the "my stronger friend is coming" card. She got folded today, so now she is scheduling revenge like a dentist appointment. But Jian Chen does not care at all. He simply watches them leave and tells her that she may come whenever she likes, because he is ready anytime. After humiliating the Cheng family and sending them running, Jian Chen is brought into the Ling family meeting room, where the elders are already gathered. The family head looks at him seriously and calls his name, clearly still trying to process how a dead young master just walked back into the house like he forgot his keys. The family head says he confirmed Jian Chen was dead before, so he wants to know why he is suddenly alive. Ling Tiaxin also turns to his son and asks what exactly happened to him. And honestly, fair question. When your funeral gets interrupted by the guest of honor standing up, people are going to need answers. Jian Chen calmly explains that back then, he only entered a death-like state. But when he woke up, a huge amount of knowledge appeared inside his mind. In other words, our boy is basically saying, I died for a second and came back with a full martial arts software update. Then he reveals the important part, he has a way to recover his martial arts. The elders are instantly shocked, asking if that is really true, because a crippled genius suddenly having a comeback method is exactly the kind of news that makes old men start seeing hope again. Jian Chen says it is true, but he needs a large amount of wild animal blood and herbs. If he gets them, then after 3 months, he can recover his strength, including something called the 9 elements of purification and the real element. Though the exact meaning of that part is unclear. Still, the message is simple, give him enough resources, and this man is going to rebuild himself. The family head slams his hand down and immediately says, great. Just like that, the whole room shifts from funeral depression to comeback investment meeting. He tells Jian Chen that he is the hope of the Ling family, and he will send a team into the mountains to hunt animals and gather herbs for him. Ling Tiaxin also gets fired up, saying he will check how much wild animal blood remains in the family storage and hand it all over to him. Jian Chen thanks his father, and you can already tell this family is betting everything on him now. Soon, a large container of blood is brought out in front of Jian Chen, followed by rows of jars filled with wild animal blood. Ling Tiaxin tells him this is everything the Ling family has left, and he can use it first while they hunt for more. This is Fatherly Support, Cultivation Edition. Some dads give their sons allowance. This dad gives his son monster blood in bulk. The Ling family members rush toward the mountain with weapons in hand, shouting that they are counting on Jian Chen and telling him to be careful. Our boy simply smiles and says he will not disappoint them. And with that face, he is not just promising them. He is basically guaranteeing that the enemies who mocked him are about to have a very bad season. Jian Chen then begins his recovery. Golden energy gathers around his body as he activates the knowledge in his mind. He thinks about a powerful technique called 10,000 Silent Ways to Get the Truth, a book created from his own effort. It may still be incomplete, but it gives him a path to become stronger. He sits down near the wild animal blood, and the glowing book floats before him as energy circles around his body. The technique begins to unfold, showing names like the Heavenly Mortal 10,000 Invisible Ways, and then 10,000 Silent Ways as the book flips open on its own. Jian Chen focuses completely, his eyes sharpening as the technique reaches something called 8 Faith. The book erupts with bright golden light, and suddenly, strange symbols and lightning, like energy, fill the air around him. The whole room turns into a glowing cultivation storm. Then Jian Chen raises his hand and commands the power to arise. The ritual immediately goes insane. The beast blood rises like a giant red pillar and rushes straight into Jian Chen, covering the whole room in a bloody light. Our boy stands there taking it all in, screaming that he's coming, like he's about to fight the heavens personally. And honestly, with the amount of blood flying around, this looks less like cultivation and more like a horror movie with martial arts DLC. Jian Chen pushes through the pain and activates his technique, shouting about the 1,000 paths of nirvana, the transcendence of samsara, sacrificing his body, and using his blood. The exact wording gets a little unclear, but the meaning is obvious. This man is not doing a normal training session. He is risking everything to rebuild himself from zero. Then a terrifying martial soul begins forming behind him. Blood keeps dripping, his body nearly collapses, but Jian Chen grits his teeth and forces the technique to keep going. Bro is literally coughing blood and still thinking, yeah, this is fine. Cultivators really need healthcare. Finally, the process succeeds. Jian Chen drops down, but his eyes light up with a wild smile as he realizes it has become the heavenly sky wheel. A massive golden wheel appears behind him. Glowing like some divine cheat code, he definitely should not have access to this early. Jian Chen then thinks about Xing Chen and Humi, promising that once he returns to the realm of godhood with the heavenly sky wheel, he will personally punish those two unfilial disciples. In other words, those traitors may have thought they killed their master, but they really just created a final boss with memory issues and revenge priorities. He understands that even though the heavenly sky wheel is only a martial soul right now, it is an existence separated from the heavens and has unlimited potential. So basically, it starts small, but the upgrade path is disgusting. And as long as Jian Chen has enough beast blood, he can keep upgrading it. So our boy sits down and starts absorbing everything. The beast blood around him keeps feeding the wheel, golden energy keeps pouring down, and Jian Chen keeps pushing forward, but it still isn't enough. He demands more because apparently one room full of beast blood is just an appetizer. By the 5th day, he is still cultivating non-stop. By the 13th day, his father brings even more beast blood for him. Jian Chen thanks everyone for their hard work, and the Ling family keeps supporting him without hesitation. At this point, the whole family is running a beast blood delivery service just to power up one teenager. Amazon Prime could never. By the 25th day, the room is almost empty, but Jian Chen's aura is completely different. His eyes snap open, and he forces the breakthrough with one shout, "Break!" Golden energy explodes from his body. His hair flies everywhere, the aura erupts, and Jian Chen finally breaks through. He checks his condition and thinks that the exact realm wording is unclear, but he has successfully made major progress, and reaching the Tianyuan realm soon should not be a problem. He clenches his fist, thinking that the day will soon come when he can use a powerful dragon technique, though the exact name is unclear. Either way, the message is simple: our boy is no longer the cripple everyone laughed at. He is loading, and once the loading bar finishes, people are getting deleted. But right when things are looking good, someone suddenly rushes into the room, panicking. He shouts that there is bad news, and something has happened to the hunting team. Jian Chen immediately turns toward him in shock and says, "What?" Because if the team collecting beast blood is in danger, then his comeback plan just got attacked directly, and whoever touched that hunting team clearly has no idea they just interrupted the wrong man's power-up session. The scene shifts back to the Ling family's ancestral hall, where everyone has gathered with heavy faces. The calm after Jian Chen's breakthrough doesn't last long, because now the whole family is boiling with anger. The Ling family members complain to the family head, saying the Cheng family has gone way too far. They attack their people, so they want revenge immediately. One of them even says that if worse comes to worst, they should just fight them seriously. And honestly, I respect the energy, but these guys sound like NPCs volunteering for a boss fight they are not built for. The family head shuts that idea down fast. He reminds them that the Cheng family has the Tianlong sect backing them, so rushing in blindly would be suicide. For now, the smart move is to prepare their defenses and send people to search for Ling Tiaxin. Jin Chen rushes into the hall and immediately asks what happened to his father. The family head notices him and calls his name, and since Jian Chen is already here, he tells Taishan to explain everything. Taishan steps forward and tells Jian Chen the bad news. While they were searching for animal blood, more than 100 people from the Cheng family attacked them. His father stayed behind to cover their retreat, and now his whereabouts are unknown. The moment Jian Chen hears this, his face changes completely. He asks what Taishan just said, and his anger starts leaking out like someone opened a cursed pressure cooker. He clenches his fists and says that even a dragon has an inverse scale, and if the Cheng family harmed his father, he will find them. He swears he will extinguish their family flame. Translation: our boy is not filing a complaint. He is about to delete the whole household. His power erupts so hard that the surrounding area cracks. The people nearby try to calm him down, telling him not to worry and saying Ling Tiexin will be alright. They also remind him that he is still young, so they should handle it and bring his father back. But Jian Chen lowers his head in silence, and you can already tell this man did not hear a single word after. Your father is missing. Then he raises his head, looks straight at his grandfather, and makes his decision. He says he wants to go with Uncle Taishan to find his father. Taishan is shocked, but Jian Chen is serious. His father is missing, so there is no way he can just sit around waiting like a decorative young master. The family head immediately rejects the idea, saying the monsters in the Chaos Mountains require at least the 5th level of Yuanjing to enter. Basically, he is telling Jian Chen, you are talented, but this is not a field trip. But Jian Chen's aura suddenly explodes. Golden energy blasts out around him, and the entire hall starts shaking. The family head feels his power and freezes, realizing this is the 7th level of Yuanjing. Everyone is stunned. Not even a month has passed, and Jian Chen has already climbed from nothing to the 7th level. The Ling family members start calling it a blessing from heaven, because at this point even the ancestors are probably looking down like, "Wet, did we authorize this upgrade?" Jian Chen steps forward again, bows to the family head and says his father is missing, so how can he sit and wait? He asks to be allowed to help. Seeing his determination, the family head finally agrees. He tells Jian Chen he may go, but he must listen to Taishan's arrangements and not chase danger on his own. In other words, he's allowed outside but only with adult supervision. Then the family head orders Taishan to take the team and rescue Ling Tiaxin, reminding them that safety is the most important thing. Taishan accepts the order, and Jian Chen gets ready to move. But let's be real. The second Jian Chen finds the Cheng family, safety first, is probably getting thrown out the window faster than those villains can scream. The rescue team arrives at Chaos Mountain, and Taishan immediately warns Jian Chen to stay close. This place is crawling with monsters, murderers, and every kind of walking red flag. Basically, if you blink in this forest, something might turn you into lunch. Jian Chen calmly says he understands, but after taking only a few steps, his senses suddenly pick up something ahead. His eyes sharpen, and he immediately tells Taishan there is an ambush about 100 meters in front of them. Taishan is shocked, but when everyone looks forward, the forest is completely silent. No movement, no enemies, not even a suspicious squirrel. The others relax and start laughing it off, telling Jian Chen he is just nervous because it is his first time entering Chaos Mountain. They even tell him the Cheng family would not dare act so close to the Ling family's territory. Ah yes, famous last words from background characters. But Jian Chen is not buying it. He tells them not to act lightly, then suddenly jumps forward and throws his blades, telling them to see it with their own eyes. Taishan panics, wondering what the hell this kid is doing, but Jian Chen keeps moving. He slashes toward the empty forest and shouts for the hidden enemies to stop hiding. His attack clashes with another weapon, proving he was right. The ambushers are actually there. The group instantly goes quiet, because now the nervous kid is looking like the only person in the team with working Wi-Fi. A group of Cheng family men finally steps out, and their leader laughs, saying he cannot believe Jian Chen actually found them. He calls him not bad, but still says everyone is going to die today. This man got exposed in 2 seconds and still decided to start trash talking. Villains really never learn. The Ling family members panic once they recognize him. They say this is Cheng Zhen, one of the Cheng family's top 10 masters, and he was the one who killed their people before. Taishan realizes things are bad and tells Jian Chen that he will block Cheng Zhen, while Jian Chen needs to break through and escape back home. But Jian Chen's face says he has no intention of running. He grips his sword, steps forward, and launches straight toward the enemy. Taishan barely has time to react before Jian Chen charges in, asking if they are the ones who killed the people of his family. Taishan calls out his name, but our boy is already clashing with the Cheng fighters. Swords collide, sparks fly, and Jian Chen starts fighting like someone who has been waiting all day for an excuse. Then another enemy appears, smirking as he joins the fight. He calls Jian Chen by name and says he dared to insult Ruxu, so today will be the day he dies. The Ling family members recognize him too and panic even more. This man is Cheng Zuo, someone born with divine strength. Even though he is only at the 7th level, his power is comparable to stronger fighters, meaning this guy is basically a walking cheat code with muscles. Everyone tells Jian Chen to avoid him, but Jian Chen does the exact opposite. He moves in and swings his sword, forcing Cheng Zuo to jump back. The two clash and Jian Chen instantly realizes this guy really is strong. Cheng Zuo leaps into the air and brings his weapon down with a terrifying attack, telling Jian Chen to repent in hell. The force is compared to the weight of Mount Taishan, so this is not just a normal strike. This is the kind of move that turns people into floor decorations. But Jian Chen's eyes flare with anger. Instead of backing down, he looks straight at the attack and says this man is courting death. The moment Cheng Zuo brings down that mountain-heavy attack, a bright blue slash cuts across the battlefield with a loud whoosh. Jian Chen meets the attack head-on. Then Jian Chen suddenly appears behind him and ends him instantly. One clean strike, one body dropping, and the man barely has time to scream. Bro didn't even let him finish loading his villain dialogue. The enemy's face twists in horror as blood splatters everywhere. He can't understand how this is happening. A crippled kid was supposed to be easy prey, but Jian Chen is moving like he has been farming secret bosses for 10 years. One of the Cheng men falls, and the others stare in shock. Cheng Zhen's group can't believe their eyes. They all thought Jian Chen had already lost his martial arts, so seeing him cut someone down with one move makes their brains crash. Jian Chen just smiles and asks, who said he lost his martial arts? And that smile is nasty. That is the smile of someone who knows the enemy came here with outdated information. Suddenly, a red martial spirit erupts behind him, cracking the air and blasting pressure through the area. The Cheng family members are forced back, shouting in fear. Now they realize the truth: this kid's martial arts were never gone. Cheng Zhen starts sweating, realizing Jian Chen has a second-grade red martial spirit. Meanwhile, Taishan gets hyped and laughs, saying Jian Chen is the top genius of all 3 towns, and that the Cheng family and Li family are going to regret offending him. Taishan basically switched from worried uncle to proud fan club president in 3 seconds. But Cheng Zhen's face darkens. He knows Jian Chen is too dangerous to leave alive. If this kid keeps growing, the Cheng family won't just be in trouble. They'll be getting erased from the family registry. So Cheng Zhen orders everyone to attack with full strength and kill Jian Chen. The Cheng family fighters rush in from every direction, weapons raised, screaming like a pack of unpaid extras trying to earn screen time. Taishan quickly shouts for everyone to protect Jian Chen, and the Ling family fighters charge forward. The whole forest turns into a battlefield as both sides collide. Swords clash, spears swing, and everyone starts shouting "kill," like this is a group project in violence. The Ling family fights hard to hold the line, while the Cheng family keeps pushing forward with numbers. Then Cheng Jun personally joins the attack, telling Jian Chen to die. He says that since Jian Chen is going against the Cheng family, there is only one path left for him, and that path is death. Sir, you have been saying this for 5 minutes, but the only people dropping are your coworkers. Taishan panics when he sees Jian Chen surrounded by 3 7th-level fighters and tells him to retreat. Cheng Jun smiles, thinking that with 3 strong fighters surrounding him, Jian Chen is definitely finished. But Jian Chen stays calm. In his mind, he knows his real combat power is not weaker than 9th-level fighters. So these few clowns trying to kill him, they are not assassins. They are training dummies with confidence issues. Jian Chen's eyes flash, and he tells them to go die. He swings his sword in one clean arc, and a huge blue slash tears through the battlefield. The enemies jump in, thinking they can overwhelm him, but Jian Chen slices through them like he is clearing weeds. 3 enemies get cut down almost instantly. The Ling family fighters see this and get fired up, telling Jian Chen that was a nice move, and that he should leave the rest to them. They rush forward, calling the Cheng family a pack of dogs and charging into the fight. Cheng Jun is stunned. He can't believe 3 of his people couldn't hold Jian Chen back at all. His face says everything. This ambush went from easy kill to, we may have made a terrible business decision. While Cheng Jun is distracted, Taishan charges straight at him and warns him that this is not the time to look around carelessly. He swings his weapon down, but Cheng Jun dodges at the last second. The clash continues, and another attack slams into Taishan's weapon, forcing him to block. Jian Chen watches the fight from the side and quickly notices something everyone else misses. Cheng Jun may look like he has the upper hand, but his footwork is weak, and the real opening is in his lower body. Our boy is not just watching the fight. He is basically reading Cheng Jun like a poorly written instruction manual. So Jian Chen shouts for Taishan to strike 3 kun below Cheng Jun's lower body. Taishan immediately trusts him and launches jumping lightning 3 strikes, moving like wind and striking like thunder. Cheng Jun instantly panics, realizing Jian Chen just pointed out his life gate. And before he can react, the attack lands. Boom. Cheng Jun gets blasted open and coughs blood, shocked out of his soul. This man really went from I have the advantage to oh did this kid expose my weak spot in one panel. As he collapses, Cheng Jun asks how Jian Chen knew the location of his life gate. Jian Chen stays calm and thinks that as a former emperor, seeing the flaws in ordinary people is easy. Basically to him, these so-called experts are moving around with giant, hit me here, signs taped to their bodies. The Ling family celebrates hard. They finally got revenge, and they are shouting that the Cheng family's little wolves got slaughtered. Meanwhile, Jian Chen smiles quietly, thinking that in his past life, he was always alone. But in this life, he has people he wants to protect, and no one is allowed to hurt them. Everyone agrees Jian Chen was the MVP of the battle and deserves a reward. So Taishan starts digging through his bag like a low-budget Doraemon, throwing random stuff everywhere while searching for some secret item. Jian Chen even asks if his uncle is Doraemon, because at this point, bro is pulling out everything except the kitchen sink. Finally, Taishan finds it and hands Jian Chen a manual. He says it is the Jing family's best knife technique, and he is giving it to him as a reward. The manual is jumping lightning 3 strikes. The crowd immediately reacts, because this is not some random street skill. This is a technique normally practiced by Ling family chiefs and heirs. But after Jian Chen's performance, everyone agrees he has more than earned it. Jian Chen flips through the book and quickly understands what it is. To him, it is only a low-level martial art for commoners, but the problem is that the god-level techniques in his memories are too powerful for his current body. If he could use them properly, wiping out the Cheng family would take one move. Casual thought. Extremely terrifying. Taishan pats him on the shoulder and says this technique took him 5 months just to get started and 5 years to master, so Jian Chen should go back and study it slowly. Jian Chen exhales, smiles, and says he got it. Taishan laughs, thinking Jian Chen is still too young to understand. He says that when Jian Chen reaches the Yuanjing realm, he will naturally grasp it. The others also chime in, saying the technique is too dangerous for someone at his current level, and that maybe with his talent, he can start learning it in about a year. But Jian Chen calmly coughs and corrects them. He says they misunderstood him. When he said he got it, he meant he had already fully understood jumping lightning 3 strikes. Everyone starts repeating his words with smiles at first, until the meaning actually hits. Then the whole group freezes in shock, because Jian Chen just claimed he mastered in moments what took Taishan 5 years. One man blurts out that from start to finish, there wasn't even enough time to drink tea, so there's no way Jian Chen could have mastered anything that fast. Another tries to comfort him, saying he is still young and failure is normal, but then he grabs Jian Chen's shoulder and warns him not to lie just to protect his reputation. The others quickly pile on, saying he still has a long road ahead, and even if he is talented, he shouldn't talk nonsense just because he's young. Jian Chen finally gets tired of hearing it. He calmly reaches for his sword and says if they don't believe him, then he'll prove it right now. His uncle panics and tries to stop him, warning that this kind of move isn't something he can casually perform. But before anyone can hold him back, Jian Chen draws his blade and launches straight into jumping lightning 3 strikes. In an instant, the sword light tears across the forest. The ground cracks, the trees shake. The air explodes with lightning, like force. The blast is so violent that everyone has to brace themselves, and when the dust settles, the forest has been ripped open. His uncle swallows hard, completely stunned. Jian Chen actually mastered the move in a flash, and Jian Chen just floats there calmly, asking what his uncle thinks now. Earlier they didn't believe him, but now the proof is right in front of their faces. Some say the technique is only meant for Ling family chiefs and heirs, while others admit that with Jian Chen's recovered strength, he is more than qualified to learn it. But Jian Chen isn't impressed. He flips through the manual and thinks to himself that this so-called low-level martial art is far weaker than the techniques in his divine memories. If he could use those techniques here, wiping out the Cheng family would only take one move. His uncle notices Jian Chen's serious face and tries to cheer him up, saying he once spent 5 months just getting started with this technique and 5 whole years reaching the end. So Jian Chen shouldn't rush it and can slowly figure it out. Jian Chen exhales. Then he says he got it. His uncle smiles, thinking Jian Chen has finally accepted reality. But Jian Chen isn't talking about patience. He means he found the flaw. He explains that even though the technique has the word lightning in it, it isn't only about speed. The true key is the final step where all 3 strikes must cooperate perfectly. Instead of worrying too much about complicated movement, the user should focus all their strength and release all 3 strikes as fast as possible. His uncle decides to try it. He takes the stance, exhales, and follows Jian Chen's instructions. Suddenly, his eyes sharpen. He swings. Lightning bursts around his blade, and this time the move is completely different. The 3 strikes come out in one violent chain, cracking through the air like thunder. The ground explodes, the trees split apart, and the entire area shakes from the impact. His uncle stands there stunned for a second, then bursts into laughter. So that was it. Jian Chen's simple advice fixed the problem instantly, and now everyone's attitude changes completely. The same people who doubted him rush forward all at once. One asks Jian Chen to give him pointers too. Another asks about his own technique. Someone else wants him to check why his arm can't release power properly. The crowd gets so excited that Jian Chen has to hold them back and tell them not to rush. One at a time. He starts with the third uncle, explaining that his skill relies on strength, but he copied the outer form too much and forgot the foundation. He focused on the cart before the horse. The third uncle quickly asks what he should do. Jian Chen calmly answers, ready to guide him next. After just a few words from Jian Chen, Uncle Taishan is already making crazy progress. The man basically got a software update in the middle of the forest, and now he's confident he can fight someone with a 4th level vital spirit. So Taishan tells everyone to remember what Jian Chen taught them, keep their eyes open, and get ready to search for the Iron Heart. The group pushes deeper into the mountain, moving in formation like they're about to clear a dungeon raid. But then Taishan suddenly stops and calls Jian Chen over. He points toward a waterfall and explains that this is the exact place where Jian Chen's father disappeared while protecting their retreat. Jian Chen looks at the waterfall, and suddenly something catches his eye. Hidden in the rushing water is a glowing treasure, the peaceful jade lotus. The moment he sees it, Jian Chen tells his uncle to wait right there. Then, without explaining anything like a normal person, he launches himself forward, using his sword like a flying skateboard. Uncle Taishan almost has a heart attack and yells for him to be careful. But Jian Chen just zips across the water like this is his daily commute. And sure enough, he comes back holding the glowing lotus. Taishan is confused, so Jian Chen explains that this thing is not just pretty decoration. The peaceful jade lotus is powerful enough to repair a severed arm. Everyone freezes, because in this world, a treasure that can regrow limbs is not cool. It's, hide this before 10 greedy old monsters kick down your door. Jian Chen immediately tells them not to spread the news, because once outsiders hear about this, trouble will come running. And honestly, too late. A voice suddenly cuts through the air, saying it's cruel that the Ling family found a treasure that can heal severed limbs. Then 2 Cheng family masters appear, looking like they just stepped out of the villain dressing room. Taishan recognizes one of them instantly. The man in black is Cheng Ying, one of the Cheng family's top 10 masters. And even worse, he was there when Jian Chen's father disappeared. Then another man steps forward, all smug and dramatic. This is Cheng Ruoyu, Cheng Ruoju's brother. Taishan warns Jian Chen to be careful, because Ruoyu is close to the 8th level. But Jian Chen? He does not look worried at all. This man hears, almost 8th level, and reacts like someone told him the Wi-Fi is slightly slow. Ruoyu starts running his mouth, saying he wants to gamble. If he can't handle 3 of Jian Chen's sword skills, Jian Chen gets to cut off both his legs. But if Ruoyu wins, he'll cut off all of Jian Chen's limbs and make him crawl to his sister to beg for forgiveness. Bro really thought he cooked. Jian Chen calmly says 3 skills are too many. He only needs 1, and Ruoyu immediately bursts out laughing, thinking Jian Chen is admitting defeat. He laughs like he just won the lottery, saying he didn't expect Jian Chen to be self-aware enough to know he can't do anything to him. But Jian Chen clicks his sword into place and tells him he misunderstood. He didn't mean 1 move was all he could use. He meant 1 move was more than enough to beat him. Then Jian Chen's eyes light up, lightning crackles around him, and he unleashes the jumping lightning triple strike. The entire area flashes blue. Cheng Ying instantly realizes something is wrong and yells for Ruoyu to be careful, but it's already too late. Jian Chen moves like a bolt of lightning, faster than Ruoyu can react, and slices straight through him. Snap! Ruoyu freezes. Then he looks down and screams because Jian Chen didn't just scratch him. He took his arm. And just like that, the guy who was talking about cutting off limbs gets a live demonstration. Karma didn't knock today. It kicked the door open. Jian Chen doesn't even give Cheng Ruoyu time to process what just happened. The guy is already on the ground, bleeding and panicking, and Jian Chen puts the sword right at him like, "Alright, enough crying. Hand over the treasure, and maybe I'll let you keep breathing." And Ruoyu instantly freezes. Because the second Jian Chen says treasure, this man's face says everything. He's like, wait, how did he know I had something on me? Bro really thought his poker face was working while looking guilty in 4K. Jian Chen sees right through him and basically says, never mind. I can just take it after I kill you. That's when Ruoyu folds faster than wet cardboard. He immediately begs him to stop and hands over a glowing blue gem. Jian Chen takes one look at it and realizes it's a gem of spirits, then demands to know where Ruoyu got it. Ruoyu, who has now fully entered survival mode, spills everything. He says he found it in Chaos Valley, about 100 kilometers north of where they are, and then starts begging like, I already told you everything, can I go now? Jian Chen's answer, nope. With one clean slash, he cuts him down anyway, and the moment Ruoyu drops, Cheng Ying completely loses it. His teammate just got turned into a loot box, and Jian Chen didn't even blink. Cheng Ying rushes in screaming that he'll kill this little bastard himself. But before he can reach Jian Chen, Ling Tishan jumps in like, hold up, your opponent is me. Cheng Ying recognizes him immediately and laughs it off. To him, Tishan is just a defeated warrior, someone he already looked down on. Big mistake, because Tishan doesn't come in swinging randomly. He uses the sword move Jian Chen personally taught him, the 3 prancing thunder strikes. At first, Cheng Ying acts cocky, blocking the attack like it's nothing. He says Tishan still can't hurt him, like he's about to give a villain TED talk. Then boom, the move lands. Cheng Ying gets blasted straight into a rock, coughing up blood, and suddenly all that confidence disappears. Just a few days ago, Tishan wasn't even worth fighting, but now he's hitting like he upgraded from free trial to premium. Cheng Ying realizes the problem isn't Tishan, it's Jian Chen. He starts thinking, what kind of monster did Chen Ruoxu summon against us? Tishan wastes no time. He pins him down and demands answers about Ling Tizan. He even says if Cheng Ying tells the truth, he'll spare his life. But Cheng Ying smirks and drops the worst news possible. He says they'll never rescue Tizan, because Tizan has already lost all of his martial skills. And even worse, Chen Ruoxu has already sent word to the Tianlong gang that Ling Tianchen is still alive. When the time comes, the whole Ling family will be slaughtered. That one line is all it takes. Taishan's patience snaps. He cuts Cheng Ying down right there, because apparently, villain monologue was not included in the mercy package. After the fight, the mood turns heavy. They know Tizan is with the Chen clan now, but they don't have enough manpower to storm in and save him. Taishan tells Jian Chen they should go back first, regroup, and think of a real plan. But Jian Chen is already 10 steps ahead. He realizes exactly what Chen Ruoxu is planning. She wants to drag his father back when the La family visits the Chen clan, using him like a trophy to humiliate the entire Ling family. So Jian Chen calmly says they still have 2 months to prepare. Sounds manageable, right? Not really. Taishan reminds him that the Chen family alone is already a nightmare, and if Li Qianlong shows up too, then things get even worse. Basically, it's not just a family dispute anymore. It's about to become a whole raid boss event. But Jian Chen just smiles. He says he has a way. Then he tells Tijun, Tishan, and everyone else to return to the clan and settle the elders first. Naturally, they're all confused, because when Jian Chen smiles like that, it usually means either a genius plan is coming, or somebody is about to lose a limb. Then he turns toward the waterfall and makes his decision. For the next 2 months, he's going to meditate there. No distractions, no delays, no nonsense. And when those 2 months are over, whether it's Chen Ruoxu, Li Tianlong, or anyone else standing in his way, they're all going to pay the bloody price. Jian Chen leaves the waterfall behind and shoots through the forest, moving so fast he's basically turned into a blue and white blur with a ponytail. The spiritual energy around him is getting stronger, so he knows he must be close to Chaos Valley. And honestly, after all that dramatic meditation, flying swords and waterfall training, the man is locked in. But before he can keep searching, someone suddenly comes sprinting toward him from the distance. A young woman rushes out in panic, crying for help like she just opened the wrong door in a horror movie. She begs him to save her and introduces herself as Zhang Yuan from the Zhang clan. Behind her, a bunch of shady-looking men are chasing her down, laughing and calling after her like they have never heard of basic human decency. Jian Chen stops, calm as ever, while the girl immediately hides behind him. She grabs onto him and begs again, clearly terrified, and now the whole situation turns into one of those moments where the random side quest just runs directly into the main character. The men surround them from all sides. One of them steps forward with a smug grin and tells Jian Chen to leave all his valuables behind, break one of his own arms, and maybe they'll let him live. Bro really pulled up with a full customer service policy for robbery. Jian Chen's face darkens. He doesn't even look impressed. He just tells them he normally doesn't like getting involved in other people's business, but since they're asking him to break his own arms, he'll give them 20 seconds to disappear. And the robbers laugh. Of course they laugh. Because villains in these worlds see a calm guy with glowing eyes, a sword on his back, and zero fear in his soul, and somehow think, yeah, let's keep talking trash. One of them says this little brat has some attitude, but Jian Chen quietly cuts the timer down and says there are only 10 seconds left. That finally shakes one of them. The guy panics and asks if Jian Chen even knows who he is, but Jian Chen doesn't care. He just smiles and says 5 seconds are left. And that is when one of the bandits snaps. He yells that Jian Chen can forget about his 5 seconds, because how dare he offend the legendary gang of 5 chaotic tigers. Then he launches forward with a spear, shouting that Jian Chen should die first. And Jian Chen just watches him come. He says, 5 chaotic tigers. You guys even made nicknames for yourselves. How pathetic is that? Nah, that was personal. He didn't just dodge the attack, he dodged their entire branding department. The spear user comes flying down, furious, wrapped in golden spiritual energy shaped like a giant snake. He screams that he's going to pierce Jian Chen's chest and see how arrogant he acts after that. One of the other bandits proudly explains that Lao Wu's Spear of the Spiritual Snake is an 8th level Yinjing technique, already mastered to the highest level. According to him, beating commoners with it is as easy as cutting cake. Another one is even more disgusting, telling Lao Wu not to kill Jian Chen too fast. He wants them to destroy Jian Chen's skills first, chop off his limbs, and then feed him to wild dogs. And while they're all hyping up their friend like this is a pay-per-view martial arts match, Jian Chen barely reacts. He moves once, clean and fast, and the attack gets cracked apart like somebody tried to fight lightning with a pool noodle. The bandits freeze, because their friend, the one who was talking big just a second ago, gets blasted so hard the whole group suddenly remembers they have families. One bandit shouts that Lao Wu was beaten in the blink of an eye, while another panics because normally they are the ones robbing people, not getting turned into free, range target practice. And just when they're trying to process that, Jian Chen's sword lands in front of them, still sparking with blue energy. Then he stands there like the final boss who accidentally loaded into the tutorial zone and says, "Who said he wants me to be fed to the dogs?" And that one sentence alone changes the weather. But they still don't learn. Instead, they all jump at him together, yelling that they'll annihilate him and make him taste the power of the 9th level of Yuanjing. The girl from the Zhang clan screams for him to be careful, because from her point of view, this is not a fight anymore. This is one guy standing in the middle while a full gang dives at him from every angle. But Jian Chen stays calm. He calls them a group of useless fools and says he'll use all of them as practice. And then the beating officially begins. Their weapons come flying in, swords and blades clashing around him, but Jian Chen moves through everything like he already read the patch notes. One swing misses. Another attack gets deflected. Someone gets smashed back. Another gets cracked across the face. It's slash, crack, bang, and these grown men are suddenly getting comboed like training dummies in a martial arts gym. One bandit stares in disbelief, shaking as he says this is impossible. And honestly, same bro. Imagine pulling up with your whole crew, calling yourself the 5 chaotic tigers, and then getting turned into the 5 confused house cats. Another sword drops to the ground with a loud clang. And that's when the confidence finally leaves the building. One of the bandits takes one look at Jian Chen and decides, nope, I am not built for this episode. He turns around and starts sprinting, crying for help and yelling that there's a beast behind him. But Jian Chen is already there. He appears beside him in an instant, coldly asking if he's trying to escape, because it's already too late. Before the guy can even finish regretting his life choices, Jian Chen hits him so hard his soul probably files a complaint. The bandit screams, no. And then crack, he's done. Jian Chen says these useless fools were not even enough for a warm-up. And that's the scary part, because for everyone else this was a life or death ambush. For Jian Chen, this was cardio. After wiping out the gang like they were nothing, Jian Chen casually bends down and starts checking their bodies, wondering if these losers were carrying anything useful. And almost immediately, he finds out the answer is yes. He picks up a bag and smirks when he realizes there are 3,000 gold coins inside. For a bunch of roadside robbers, these guys were surprisingly loaded, and Jian Chen is not about to leave free money lying on the ground. But just as he finishes collecting the loot, the girl he rescued calls out to him. Jian Chen turns back with a calm look, and the girl nervously thanks him for saving her life. She asks for his name, promising that the Zhang family will repay him properly. Jian Chen, however, has zero interest in rewards or drawn-out gratitude. He simply tells her she does not need to thank him, says it was nothing, and prepares to leave. The girl is stunned. Before she can even stop him, Jian Chen shoots away like a streak of light, leaving her standing there with her words stuck in her throat. She tries calling after him, but he is already gone. And the moment he disappears into the distance, her gratitude turns into frustration. She stomps her foot, blushing and annoyed, unable to believe this man saved her, ignored her thanks, and then flew off without even giving his name. Meanwhile, Jian Chen continues forward at full speed. With his sword flashing through the forest, he cuts through the obstacles blocking his path, forcing open a clean route toward the valley. After clearing the way, he finally lands and realizes this must be the path to the place he is searching for. But he does not let his guard down. If Chen Royu's information is correct, there should be 1 or 2 beasts nearby, and their strength could be comparable to skilled warriors. So Jian Chen slows down, sharpens his senses, and prepares himself. Then, something moves. A faint hiss echoes through the trees. Jian Chen's ear twitches, and his expression instantly hardens. He can tell something is close, but he cannot see it yet. His eyes scan the misty forest as he mutters to himself, wondering where it is hiding. Another hiss slips out from the shadows. Jian Chen turns toward the sound and spots a dark opening hidden behind the trees. Without hesitation, he raises his sword and calls the monster out, telling it to show itself since he already heard it. And then the beast erupts from the darkness. A massive red-purple serpent bursts forward with its mouth wide open, fangs flashing, and a terrifying roar shaking the forest. The moment Jian Chen sees it, his face changes. This is not some ordinary beast. It is a purple blood python, a second-tier beast. The python charges straight at him with brutal force, but Jian Chen does not retreat in fear. Instead, he launches himself upward, stepping onto his sword and blasting forward with lightning speed. With a sharp boom, he drives himself toward the beast like a bolt from the sky. His sword crackles with power as he prepares his next strike, refusing to let the python think it has the advantage. Jian Chen grips his blade tighter and pushes his thunderous attack even further. Then he drops down from above and unleashes Thunder Slash. Lightning explodes around the blade as it crashes into the purple blood python. The impact is fierce, shaking the area and forcing the beast to roar in pain. But the python is not finished. A violent shockwave blasts outward from its body, slamming into Jian Chen before he can fully press the attack. He grits his teeth as the force rushes through him, and blood spills from his mouth. The blow is heavy enough to make him cough, but he manages to block the worst of it. Jian Chen quickly realizes how dangerous this beast really is. That shockwave alone was powerful, and if he had not defended in time, he would have been badly injured. But instead of backing down, his eyes sharpen, noticing the python is trying to escape. Chen refuses to let the beast escape. With blood still on his mouth and his patience completely gone, he launches forward and shouts that this monster has nowhere left to run. The purple blood python tries to flee, but Jian Chen is already above it. Lightning gathers around his blade as he brings down another brutal thunder slash, aiming straight for the beast's life. The attack crashes down with terrifying force. The python's body trembles, its scales crack apart, and even its eye widens as the thunderous sword energy slams into it. A massive explosion tears through the area, and the second-tier beast finally collapses. Jian Chen lands heavily, coughing from the shockwave. He leans on his sword, exhausted but satisfied, muttering that he finally finished off that damn snake. But once the dust clears, he notices something strange. If this powerful snake was guarding the area, then there has to be something valuable nearby. His eyes move toward the cave and he decides to investigate. Inside, he finds a hidden opening and cracks it apart. The moment it breaks open, a brilliant blue light bursts out. Jian Chen freezes. What he sees inside is no ordinary treasure. It's a holy spring. His expression instantly changes. He can hardly believe his luck. After everything he went through, he actually stumbled upon a place filled with dense spiritual energy. To him, this is not just a lucky find. This is a blessing. He steps into the glowing spring, and the water ripples around him. Then he forms a hand sign and calls out the sky wheel of heaven. Spiritual water erupts around him as golden symbols appear, forming a massive formation behind him. Jian Chen sits at the center of the spring and begins absorbing the energy. The spiritual power here is more than enough for him to push toward real Yuanjing, and this is the perfect chance to study the fighting techniques in his memory. But there's one problem. Most of those techniques were never meant for ordinary bodies. They are too powerful for commoners to use directly, so Jian Chen starts changing them. He first studies the traceless bloody shadow, a technique that can create countless afterimages once mastered. Since the original version is too much for his current body, he adjusts it into something he can actually handle. Then he turns to the sword madness of the bloody shadow. He modifies its moves until a single slash can overpower opponents several tiers above him, giving him enough strength to break through to a new level of Zhenyuan. Time passes quickly. 20 days later, Jian Chen's eyes snap open. A golden lotus-like energy forms in front of him, and the power around him surges violently. He smiles, realizing he actually reached the third tier of Zhenyuan in one try. The result is incredible, but it also ruins his old plan. He had originally wanted to build a monastery for the Ling clan, but with things changing this fast, those plans now have to be thrown away. Then he notices movement outside. A group of people arrives at the cave and finds the dead beast. They are shocked that the guardian monster has already been killed. Whoever reached this place before them has taken their family's only hope, and they swear they will not spare that person. Jian Chen hears them mention the Zhang family and immediately thinks of the girl he saved earlier. Could these people be connected to her? Outside, the Zhang family members gather at the entrance and shout toward the cave. They claim this place is their ancestral land and demand that whoever is inside come out immediately. If not, they warn that they will not go easy on them. Inside the cave, Jian Chen simply listens. Then he sighs. They are way too loud. With a calm smile, he walks out and faces them directly. Instead of being afraid, he looks almost amused. He asks them with complete confidence how exactly they plan to treat him in a way that won't be easy on him. Jian Chen had barely stepped out of the cave when the Zhang family surrounded him like they had already won. One of them pointed straight at him and accused him of trespassing on their ancestral land. Not only that, they claimed he had killed the guardian beast of the cave, so now he had to compensate them. But Jian Chen didn't panic. He laughed right in their faces. They called this their ancestral land. To him, this place was nothing more than a dirty cesspool, and the moment those words came out, the Zhang family instantly exploded with anger. One of them snapped first. He shouted that Jian Chen was a bastard and promised to teach him a lesson personally. But before he could rush in, his uncle calmly told him there was no need to hold back. They weren't people that could be bullied, and this kid needed to understand that. The young Zhang fighter grinned like the fight was already over. In his mind, one slash would be enough to end Jian Chen. So he stepped forward, pointed his sword, and arrogantly told Jian Chen to kneel and kowtow. If Jian Chen behaved, maybe he would still leave him with a whole body. Jian Chen's expression barely changed. He simply remembered the last person who forced him to kneel. That person was already dead, and by now the grass growing over his grave was probably tall enough to cover the tomb. The Zhang fighter roared and dove in, swinging his sword with full force. He unleashed his so-called high-class sword move, Blade of the Azure Waves, trying to crush Jian Chen with a rushing wave of spiritual power. The Zhang family watched proudly from the side. They praised the move, saying his sword technique was getting stronger and stronger. In their eyes, once the Tianlong gang saw this kind of talent, their clan would definitely rise. But Jian Chen only smirked. This was a first-tier high-class sword move. That was their standard. How pathetic. The attack came crashing forward, but Jian Chen didn't even look impressed. As the wave of power rushed toward him, he moved with terrifying precision and smashed through it with nothing but his fist. The sword energy shattered like water bursting apart. Before the Zhang fighter could even react, Jian Chen was already in front of him. One brutal punch landed straight into his body. Blood sprayed from the man's mouth as Jian Chen coldly told him the person who should go to hell was him. The Zhang fighter's eyes went wide in disbelief. Jian Chen had not used some mysterious weapon, not some complicated technique, just one fist. And that fist sent him flying. The Zhang family froze. Their confident young fighter had been defeated in an instant, and now everyone was staring at Jian Chen like they had just seen a monster. Jiang Chen grabbed his sword and charged forward, screaming that the Zhang fighter was a useless fool who needed to die. But before he could finish his attack, the older man finally moved. His aura flared as he launched himself forward, furious that Jian Chen dared to hurt his nephew. But Jian Chen simply raised his sword. Their blades crashed together with a sharp impact, and the older man's attack was completely blocked. Then Jian Chen countered. A massive slash of power tore across the battlefield, forcing the elder back in one violent sweep.